Hello, it's McMurphy again. I just wanted to share a buy mail pickup, if you will. That is my monthly retro treasure. If you're not familiar, this is a monthly service in which you can put in your gaming preferences, and then they'll give you a mystery box every month of based on the selections you've made. Um, I've been a member of this for a couple years now, off and on. You can stop at will whenever you want. They're pretty cool with that. And it gives you 3 to 5 in each box. Right now it's $40 per month. And right now I'm focusing on my NES and um, original Game Boy collection. And I recommend if you ever are interested in that, because you're going to see some people complain. It's like, oh, it's not the selections I want, or um, I'm not into this game or that game. I'm disappointed. I would definitely get this if you just want to boost your library of something that you're not overtly picky about. So, like me, I want to get as many NES games I don't already have, and they have an inventory system. So, and they update it for you, which is great. Their competitors do not at this moment, so that's something I like to keep in mind. Less chance of getting duplicates because it erases the element in which you have to update your inventory based on what they send you. Of course, if you buy something separately, you're going to have to update. Anyway, uh, this I like I was saying, you want to pick it because pick systems you're not picky about because it's a mystery box. You don't know what you're going to get. They don't actually know you as a person. So I'm over. With that in mind, I'm satisfied always with this. But we're going to get to grading the box and the what we think of the games. And I say we because my son really gets into getting these boxes, opening these with me. So in this video, you're going to see gameplay, which it'll be used the actual games, but it will be on a Retron 5. So, there's that elimination, a emulator level to it. So, but it'll be all his gameplay except for one of them. And I'll get to that when it comes. But one thing I'll be doing is seeing what he thought of it and what I thought of it, because I thought, he's in third grade. He's a lot of these are playing for the first time. So, by today's standards, can a kid get into these games or not? And, it removes my nostalgia factor. So we're going to see how our grades compare. Now, we have opened this box, but I promise everything that I show is from this April 2024 shipment. And then I'm going to splice in some of his gameplay and talk about the games further. I think that's it. If you have any questions, put it in the comments about the system, the service. There's a lot of other people that inspired me to do these, and they're really informative. So I'm sure if you've heard of Retro Game Treasure, you know the information you want. But if not, just let me know. Okay, so we're going to open this up. Again, I love the box it comes in. Okay, let's open this up here. And I'm just going to, we'll see which one we got here. So, this is Tetris. Now, I actually had this on my wish list because I never had a Game Boy growing up. So that's kind of the reason why I'm collecting the original Game Boy. And for some reason, I'm more tolerant of the shovelware that's in the original Game Boy than Game Boy Color or even Game Boy Advance, which really had, unless if you love Rugrats or games like that, their shovelware I have no nostalgia for. Well, this is the opposite of shovelware. I remember, I think it was in Grand Forks, North Dakota, it was either a Walmart or a Target. But anyway, I remember going up and waiting in line to the Game Boy kiosk to play the Tetris on Game Boy, and it was such a big event. And I know it ended up getting packaged with the Game Boy quite a bit, and um, it used to be really common. If somebody had a Game Boy, you just assumed they had a Tetris. And as time went on, that's not the case. And this actually I have not picked up myself at any game store or garage sale or anything like that. So I'm really happy to get this. We played it, as you know, as you might be seeing at this point. But my son, he gave it a solid A. He thought it was great. He was happy to that it started out easy, like Tetris. Everything that makes this Tetris great is in this. It was such a beautiful launch title for the Game Boy. It was the perfect decision. And again, maybe it's nostalgia, but I give this an S. Oh yeah, and I should say we're grading this from S being the best to F being the worst, and the letter grades in between are the accepted ranges, A, B, C, D. So Tetris, an A and an S. Extremely happy with this inclusion. I don't think I could put it here. Maybe I can. Can you see that? I'll find out afterwards. Anyway, let's open up the next one. And this one will be the other Game Boy. Tennis. Tennis, I never played this version on the Game Boy. I had played the black box tennis game. And I know this is more like the Mario Open tennis than the original tennis. But this one is a lot more fun. You got Mario as the ref. You can kind of see him on the cover there. And, it's tennis. It is exactly what it says it is, but they keep it fun. Jeez, I don't even know what to say about it. If you had a link system, you could play 2-player. Otherwise, it's a 1-player fair, but they have, I think, 3 different difficulty levels, and I don't know, it's a lot of fun. My son liked it as well. He gave tennis for the Game Boy a B. He liked it. I gave it also a B. I think it's as good as a bare bones, not completely bare bones, but fairly bare bones tennis game can be. And I'm glad to have this in my collection too. Again, the only time I wouldn't be glad is if it wasn't working, or I already had it for some reason, and they made a mistake, which I have not had happen yet. So go with them. Okay, so we got Tetris and Tennis, 2 T's. Now the next 2 are original Nintendo games. And this one is Cycross. It's kind of funny because as a kid, I don't remember this game at all. I might have seen a comic book ad. I saw a lot of video game comic book ads back when I collected comics as a kid. I know this mostly through emulation, and this game gets gets put in a lot of mystery boxes. It's a easy game to come by. It's pretty inexpensive, and I think it feels dated. I believe that was one of the problems with it. It's a port of an arcade game, and it feels like an arcade game when you play it. That said, my son played it, and he loved it. He absolutely loved it. Well, I would give this a B, which I think is a fair one. I think a lot of reviewers give it kind of more of a C or 2.5 stars range. I'll go ahead and give it B, because it is, once you kind of get the hang of it, rescuing people, keeping your energy up, it's a lot of fun. This is gore. It's a good score game. So, but my son loved it. He gave it an S, which really surprised me. I was actually, when I saw this come out, I was like, I don't know if he's going to like this, but he did. He had a great time smashing the competitors, the enemy, whatever you want to call them, into obstacles and walls and stuff, and crashing them to bits. So he really had a great time with this. Again, I gave it a B, and he gave it an S. So if you see this around and you have some kids, this is also two-player. It's not two-player at the same time. It's two-player take turns, but today's kids may actually get into this. So that was Cycross, and I have one more. They gave me 4. I would say typically they give me 3. Rarely do they give me 5, and to be honest, if I get a 5, it's probably because one of the games are extremely cheap. But the final one is Track and Field 2 by Konami. Now, this I thought was an interesting pick as far as whether or not I was going to like it or not. Back when I had my preferences more broad for this mystery box, and I include a lot of different systems, I was pickier, and you can say what kind of genres you want or don't want. And I did not. I used to say no sports, but now that I collect 2 systems, I don't care what genre I get. I just want to get their cartridges. I want to collect them. I want to have a library of them. Plus, in old sports games, they felt more like arcade. They had more arcade sensibility than simulation, due to obvious limitations in the hardware. And I think that works in their favor for someone who's not in the sports genre for video games. Anyway, played this, and what I will say is it is well done. There's a lot of different options. There is 2-player. I believe it supports the zapper and such. You don't need that to have this game. In fact, you're going to see footage of me playing. Now, this is one where I did the capture video because without the manual, just popping in the game and playing it, you're kind of guessing what you have to do to get it to work. How to swing the anchor, and how to fence properly, and it could be frustrating. And we both kind of came out of it frustrated, but feeling that we knew that we were playing a solid game. So if you do pick this up, and especially if you pick it up and you're playing with kids or just your buddies, I recommend going online, get a digital copy of the manual. There's a couple different places where you can go. Archive.org, I think, has a section for scanned NES manuals. And, just look, make sure you have the controls figured out, and then you can probably have more fun than we did with it. So, factoring that in, we both gave this one, my son gave it Track and Field 2 a B minus, and I went a little higher. I gave it a B. Again, I think if you look at a lot of places, this gets a really high review. It's not a particularly valuable game, so you should have no problem finding this in the wild, but it can be frustrating. I'll say it again, as far as controls, if you're going into it blind, you're popping it into a machine and you're starting to play, you're going to have to figure some stuff out. So, again, but it was good. So, as you can see, we have a really solid selection, I think. I'm very happy with this month's retro game treasure box. I had to think for a second there. And so I asked my son, hey, what do you give this box? And he agreed with me. I think this is an A box, like solid. So I think this is fantastic. I think this is about what you can expect from the from the service. And you go in with the expectation that it's a fun surprise every month where you get to fill out a library of a console that you're not overly picky about. Again, I go into it thinking, hey, if I don't have this game and it's in working condition, and these conditions were all in good. I think track and field, I had some stickers on the back. Some people actually like that, some don't. I'm kind of impartial. As long as it doesn't look ugly, I don't care. And from the front, none of these look ugly. So there you go. This is a great one, and I plan on doing this next month as well. I think my subscription already refilled, so we'll just go from there. And if I get any more just random pickups,